We are all creators. Whether you post online or not, whether you call yourself an artist or not, by the fact of you simply being alive, you simply being a human, I'm telling you, my G, we are all creators. I think the thing is, our understanding of being a creator, or what it means to create, is limited. It's been warped, you know what I mean? It's been warped. Creating or being a creator is not about art. Or it's not always about art. It does not mean that you have to write a book. It does not mean that you have to sing. In a way, to create is simply letting what is inside of you flow out. It could be a conversation that you have, that you're having with somebody. It could be helping somebody. It could be shifting a person's mood. It's all about doing something that wasn't there. It's all about bringing something into existence that wasn't there before. So it could be anything. And you see, when you think about it like this now, come on now, things changed. I'm saying this just as a reminder. I am saying this to make you remember. Do not look down on the things that you do. Do not look down on your own self. All of us, we are all creators, and I believe that we are all called to create. It's just the moment that you begin to look at your life, the moment that you begin to look at it or live from that place of overflow, or allow things to flow out of yourself, whether it's conversation, having a conversation with somebody, it's like allow yourself to exist, allow yourself to be perceived and to perceive. And I'm making this as a reminder. I'm making this to remind you, family, just in case you forgot. Look, we are not just living in this world. We are constantly creating our reality through our senses. Everything that we see, we are constantly creating our reality. Right now, you're looking at this and you're seeing me. You're like, wow, that's a handsome man, handsome brother. Okay, I'm just, all right. We are constantly taking in information like electrical signal, chemical signal. And we begin to interpret things based on the information that we take. We look at that and we say, wow, that's a beautiful tree. We look at a large body of water and we call that a beautiful ocean, the sky, and so on and so on. And so I say all this to say, you are a creator, but you have to look at yourself as a creator. I'm telling you, if you can begin to live as a creator, life begin to have more meaning, impact as well. Or at least your life begin to have more impact because of the way that you begin to live. And so don't limit yourself and think that, oh, I'm not a creator because I'm not writing a book. I'm not an author. I'm not doing art. No. Just like I said earlier, just the essence of you being alive, my family, just by the essence of you breathing, by the essence of you existing, you're creating. Every single day you're creating. So what I'm saying is become more intentional, like embrace your creativity. Embrace your creativity and allow it to shine. Allow yourself to shine through. Come true. Make your dreams come true. And I know at this point, I think I sound like a broken record. And I think it is from living from this place, right? And having this understanding, can we begin to live like full life? Can we begin to live a life of purpose, really? Knowing that every single conversation that we have, we are creating. And so when I know that every single conversation I'm having, every new conversation is an opportunity to create. And so, I'm going to relish the moment when I have a conversation with a stranger. I'm going to allow myself as well to slow down, to have conversation with people. Knowing that, wow, man, I have the power to shift somebody's mood for the better. And I know sometimes we like to think that, no, nothing can mess up our mood, and yeah. But there are certain things that can affect you. And because most of us do not consider ourselves as creators, this makes a trap. This keeps us in a place where we are constantly consuming, where we are constantly learning, constantly taking things in, but never growing. Like I used to think to myself, man, if I can learn enough, if I can just learn enough, right? If I can just learn enough, then I'll be able to implement things. But you see, that never happens because you will just find yourself in a trap. You'll be stuck just consuming things, learning and taking things in, and you feel inspired, but you feel like, man, no, I'm not ready. I can't do it yet. I need to consume more. I need to know. And it's almost like you find yourself in an endless loop, an endless cycle, where you never get anything done. And this is the reality. There are times when we turn our self-growth into consumption, right? It's like you're constantly learning, but you never grow. And that's because you're just taking things in without implementing them. And because you don't implement them, you never bring yourself to a place where you can find that growth that can only come, or that transformation that can only come as a result of you working it out, as a result of you doing it. Look, there was a time, and it's not something that I have finally overcome, but it's something that I am aware of. It's like, I consume all the content. I listen to the podcast. I save all the posts about peace, about tranquility, about this, that, and the other. But I never implement it. And then I begin to get tired in words, right? I never allow that stuff to really transform me because I never work it out. Because I tell myself, let me keep consuming more. And that's how you fall into the trap. That's how you fall into the trap where you are you turn your self-growth, or you turn you turn your self-growth into another form of consumption. See, this is why you keep consuming. You've been consuming the same content and saying, I will do this for the longest time. You're consuming. For the longest time, you've been consuming content on starting a business. You've been consuming content on how to create your own content. Okay, look, let's level here. The problem that you have is not that you lack knowledge. The problem is you lack practice. And the reason you're not practicing is because you never see yourself as a creator. And so you're constantly consuming, and we never create. You consume things about a desired habit, but you never allow yourself to cultivate that habit. You read and you watch videos about joy, but you're never choosing it. How many videos have you watched about trust, but you keep clinging to control? How many videos have you watched and you tell yourself, oh yeah, man, I'm going to do this stuff. I'm going to start. But you keep consuming more. And it's the same thing. They just take different form. It's the same thing over and over again until you're feeling stuck. And now you're feeling stuck, and it's like no amount of content that you consume, no amount of consumption, no amount of reading, listening to motivation, nothing can fuel you. And yes, maybe you keep watching another video and you feel motivated, but then it's the same thing. You're stuck. And you're not able to hear the voice that's whispering to you, telling you will be in a state of stuckness because you have consumed enough. It's enough. You have consumed enough. Now is the time for you to start creating. Now is the time for you to start doing. So we all know how before a child begins to walk, they have to crawl. But the moment they begin to walk or start to learn how to walk, you see them, they walk and they fall, right? They take the first step, they take second step, they fall. And the response of the people who watch their parents will be, oh, look, they are walking, they are learning, they are walking. It's one of excitement. You don't see people go, oh, you fall, right? The emphasis is usually not on the fall. If anything, them falling, that's a sign, right? That's a sign of growth. It's only when we get grown, because we are no longer little children trying to learn how to walk, that we begin to consider falling as failure instead of growth. Falling is not failure. Falling is a sign of movement. It's a sign of motion. So you need to stop waiting for you to be ready. Because one thing that we never think is, what if certainty only comes at the end, right? What if our feet are supposed to walk in the path, walk through the fog, walk through the confusion, right? And what if the confusion does not mean that we are on the wrong path in life? What if the confusion is just like a texture of the whole experience, right? It comes as the package. What if we're just supposed to trust our feet to move? Trusting that our feet knows something that our mind doesn't. I know that it can be hard. And this is because we worship our mind. And what I mean by us worshiping our mind is we worship knowing everything. We worship planning. We worship strategy. We worship, oh, I understand. Okay, it makes sense now. Because now I know ahead of time. You see, these are the things that we worship. And this is why we can't trust. Create your own life. Every single day we are creating. You walk into a room, you create the presence. You're responsible to create the presence or the atmosphere. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly creating. Whether it's bad or good, you are creating. Failure to create intentionally is you creating unintentionally. You can't be afraid to fall. Like I said earlier, falling is not bad. Falling is a sign of movement. It's a sign that you're doing something. So in a way, you think to yourself, like, when was the last time you failed? And allow me to present to you, family, like, if you haven't failed, that means you are not trying something. Or if you're not putting yourself in a situation or in positions where failing is a possibility, then are you really doing anything? Are you really doing anything? Are you really pushing yourself? Are you even living? It's normal to fail at something that you love. It's normal to fail in your dream. Failing does not mean quitting. Now, let me make that clear. It's a sign to, okay, now I know what didn't work. That's the only way that I look at it. Me, you, and everybody walking through life. That means our life, your life is alive. That means it responds to you. That means it adjusts to you. It catches you when you fall, and it falls with you when you need to fall, and it lifts you up when falling is over. So, allow yourself to fall, because it's only in falling can you rise. Don't be afraid of, trying and failing, because the only consequence is failure. But if you don't try, if you don't allow yourself, you've already failed already. If we never start, we've already failed. And I just wanted to drop that here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and keep doing the best with what you have. Don't forget to smash, caress that like button, make love to it if you will, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys and love you all. See you all in the next one.